sound? Sound? Oh no, not during the day, but at midnight. There's moans and there's groans, and the horrible smell of blue brimstone with shrieks and the rattling of boats. As a factor, that is one serious drawback, and I'm sorry I let an ink drop. Don't give me away to the landlord, or he'll have me chucked out naked shop. But the sounds we get here at midnight, forget them, I never shall. Well, I could start staring Barbie. I haven't attacked the fowl. You see, it all comes of that near Jack the Ripper. He used to live here, sir. He made this a kind of headquarters when putting his victims away. And now all their ghosts come to haunt him, shrieking and dragging their chains. Well, I'm a pretty tough handful, but that there beats all the rats in the dragon.
And he reprised it, did it again in 1926.
It all comes to that there Jack the Ripper. He used to live here, they say. He made this his kind of headquarters when putting his victims away. And now all their ghosts come to haunt him, shrieking, dragging their chains. Well, I'm a pretty tough handful, but them there beats all the rats in the drain.
The chap standing on the right is Joseph Hyman. He was one of the original brothers Houdini with Houdini himself, but he changed his name to Joe Hyman and spent the most of the rest of his life working the music hall and comedy circuits in England. In 1913 he recorded the first ever million-selling disc, Cohen on a Telephone, which was then covered by almost every other comedian at the time. It's awful. Really bad, and you're going to hear some of just how bad the comedy was in the 1910s. In 1915 he recorded Cohen is arrested for exceeding the speed limit, and again Jack the Ripper gets a name check. Just thank God you're only going to hear about 20 seconds of this.
And a policeman arrested me. Not requested me. He arrested me. I got pinched by a cop now, do you understand? A cop, not a bop, a cop. He said I was going too fast. And I wasn't going too fast to make you skip it. Not Jack the Ripper, you skip it. Yes, now they got me in jail. Nothing of bail in a jail.
Oh, the great mirth of the time of George V. This is Charles Penrose in the middle of his highly inappropriate impersonation of Edward Watkins discovering the body of Catherine Eddowes. Penrose is, of course, the man who shot to fame with the Laughing Policeman in 1922. He was born in 1873 in Biggleswade, and he was another music hall entertainer. Along with the comedian and multi-instrumentalist Billy Whitlock, he recorded this piece, which inaccurately fuses Crippen with Smith, the Bride in the Bath murderer, and makes, if you can hear it, a shocking reference to infanticide.
Now the book says, number one is the professional reminder. No, not the British. Oh, listen. Oh, well, he must have been a good refreshment. No, that's the gentleman that had 8 wives. Oh, ain't really 8 wives? No, I was the crow. The chap that drowned them. I know, I wish I could drown my old woman in the river. Well, let's get down a bit. Go on. He wants his desire bill. Over there, but number 6 on the right.
There we are, a little bit of comedy speaking about giving a crying baby to a woman who murdered dozens of babies about 40 years beforehand. You can imagine getting away with that one today. Penrose extended his Laughing Policeman to various sequels, and this awful piece of kitsch from the early 30s is one of my favourites.
Mrs. Dyer and Cricket I can't abide. Yet I seem to follow you around like about 2 in the morning is the worst. The place seems full of uncanny noises and whispers. But don't let me spoil your enjoyment. Have a good look at Cricket. You'll see what I mean.
Oh, Robert, whatever's that? Oh, it makes me feel all shivery.
It's only the old toll bell from Newgate Prison, lady.
Come on, Mary. Oh, he's a nasty-looking bloke. Number 12. Lansville, the French Bluebeard.
Oh, he wants to stay for a haircut. I don't like his beard. You, Dad. Shouldn't like to meet him on a dark night.
16, Robert. What a nasty little man.
So that's Cricket. Come to look at him. He has got fishy eyes.
When I see the torches,
Now, 41. Who's 41?
Oh, that's old Charlie Peace. If that chap had been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, I'll bet he would have been marked with the name of some hotel.
Wait, no. Where's Johnny?
Oh, he's having a good look at some of the horrors.
Oh, Robert, I don't like that bell. I've had enough of this creepy place. Let's find Johnny and go.
It's all right, Mary, here he comes. What have you been up to, Johnny? Some mischief, I suppose?
He's bad enough for anything. Goodness only knows. This place gives me the shivers. Oh, it's all so odd and weird.
oh, Daddy, I've had such a laugh. I've cut off Nancy's beard.
Here's a man who may be familiar to some of you. This is the master of criminal melodrama, Todd Slaughter. Ironically, his surname really was Slaughter, but his first name was Norman. He was born in Newcastle in 1885. He started his acting career as a leading man before his troupe at the Elephant and Castle Theatre wowed audiences with darker subject matter. In 1931, he started taking on the villain roles himself and created a sensation. Film versions were made in the mid-1930s, but he recorded 2 sets of double discs for the Regal label in 1932, one of which was playing William Corder in Maria Martin or the Murder of the Red Barn. Prepare for some shocking overacting.
You see, William, I have kept my word. You promised to make me your bride.
Yes, the bride of death. Look!
No, no!
Yes, into the grave you go, my lady. Alive you are faithful to me. Dead you will cease to be a menace.
You shan't hear me, you shan't! Oh, have pity!
No!
Out of my way!
Oh, no. Come here.
Oh, no, no! You brute! Take that!
You she-devil. You merely blinded me with that soil. Put that spade down. Fool to pit your puny strength against mine. Put it down. You hear?
Never! Never!
Then damn you, like that. Is she dead? Oh, yes. And now to bury the body.
You think that's bad? Just listen to his Sweeney Todd from the same year. Prepare for the worst child actor to ever defile shellac.
So he won't buy the stuff. Rat, this is all your fault.
No, sir, no.
I say yes. You workhouse rat. I don't like bunglers. Sit in this chair. I'll punish you.
No! Oh! No, no!
Quietly, you. For a razor. Next time you'll bring back the right answer. So out of the world you go. The razor's nice and sharp. Beautiful, beautiful.
One final recording of which it's been impossible to trace any reference. It's Joe Blakesdale in the Chamber of Horrors, written in the Stanley Holloway style by the comedian Harry Fay, and here recorded by Bobby Day, which was undoubtedly a pseudonym, for the rare and short-lived Lewis's Long Life label in 1934. Although this continues with the theme of Madame Tussauds Chamber of Horrors, it does mention Deeming and also name-checks Rouse, whose blazing car murder had only happened 3 years before.
woke up with a fearful start, the clanging of a bell, and found himself chained hand and foot, locked in Jack Shepherd's cell. Now Joe was quite dumbfounded and could scarce believe his eyes. All lights were on, and what was quiet were now all din and noise. The murderers had come to life, and all seemed out of bounds. Why, even chaps in coiners' dens stopped making bad-ass rounds. They gathered all round by the cell, like people do at zoo, and started poking fun at Joe. Some folks umbrellas too. Then crowd got more excited as one chap with ugly leer yelled out, "Let's hang him, same as us. We gathered ready, yeah?" But as they rushed to open cell, Charles Peace stepped in between and said, "Nay, that's where I've got to hang. Let him out guillotine." Then up come chap from guillotine, and when he entered cell, Joe noticed blood all over his hands. Aye, all over his clothes as well. And outside cell, they'd all lined up to get a better view. There were Jamie, Seton, Mrs. Dyer, Rouse, and Griffin too. They led Joe up to guillotine, tied bandages round his eyes, then measured neck with piece of tape to get a proper size. He then were placed on the bench, face down, while knives were fixed up top, with wooden collar tight round neck, all watch for head to drop. Joe now were praying for end to come. Each second seemed like years. He felt a buzzing in his head and ringing in his ears, when suddenly a shrieking voice rang out above them all.
Joe, it's 6 o'clock. Get up, or you'll be losing Joe.
Finally, in spite of a decade of looking, there's one old recording I'm sure many Ripon historians would love to find. Although it was popular in the 1910s and 1920s to press medleys of old musical songs, the only version of William Fox's Only a Violet I Plucked from Mother's Grave you can find anywhere is on, and I've not been paid to say this, is on the soundtrack CD of Frog Moody's Yours Truly, Jack the Ripper, which he does have copies of for sale in the book room. If only an old 78 could be traced to this little baby. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Philip, for that wonderful presentation. I had no idea how many old 78s have been pressed with references to famous murderers and Jack the Ripper. You must be really proud of your extensive research. I know everyone at the Whitechapel Society values your contribution to Ripper research a great deal.